Hello everyone, a big shout out to those who completed the first tutorial on Microsoft Word interface. In this particular video, we're going to work with text. We're going to step up our skills. So if this is your first time on the channel, kindly like and subscribe. And if this is your first time watching the video, I'll advise you to check the description section of this video in order to watch the first video I did on Microsoft Word interface. Here are the outlines which we are going to cover. We'll look at typing and editing. Here we're going to make use of some keys on the keyboard that will assist you in your typing and editing. I'm going to teach you how to cut, copy and paste in Microsoft Word, and I'll show you how to use the undo and redo command in Microsoft Word. Secondly, we'll look at how to format a text. You will get to see the different font type, font size and colors you can use to make your text document appear so beautiful. So I'm going to teach you also how to make use of the bold command, italicize and underline command in Microsoft Word, and you will learn text alignment. In text alignment, this is where your text will appear left, right, center or being justified. Then lastly, this is what I got for you. I'm going to teach you how to paragraph in Microsoft Word, where you'll be making use of line spacing, bullets and numbering commands in order to make your work appear appealing. So what are you waiting for? Watch the video until the very end. I'll see you there.
Right, to get started, guys, I'm sure you already have Microsoft Word application open in your computer. So let's start working with text. I want to type something which we are going to consider for today when it comes to editing of text. Let me type this: editing of text. Editing of text. Simply, you can also type this and follow alongside with me. Editing of text simply means working with your type text in your document. Here you have to ensure accurate spellings and other corrections and modification of text that forms your documents are done correctly. This is just an example. All right, you could just type anything or get a newspaper or get a book and just type anything. All right, now do you notice one thing? The moment it gets to the end of the line, it switches on to the next words, to the next line. You see the word continuing from the next line. Now it's very essential that you know some keyboard keys that assist you in your typing. Let me say, for instance, I intended, instead of me putting well here, I went to put corrected, or I wrote well and corrected. Of course, this doesn't make sense. Look at, just watch what happens. Editing of text simply means working with your typed text in your document. Here you have to ensure accurate spelling and other corrections and medication, other corrections of text. Let me remove this. Guess what I'm doing? I'm just trying to remove them because this thing is not, it doesn't make sense. Here you let's watch from here. Here you have to ensure accurate spelling and other corrections and of text. It doesn't really make sense. So this is where you make use of the backspace. I don't need the entirety of this and. I don't need and. The and does not make any sense when you're using it there. So I can just use the backspace. The backspace key on the keyboard is what is shown on the screen right now. You can see the backspace key. Then just tap on it. Take your cursor to wherever you want to remove. We use the backspace key to remove any word we don't want. Okay, so take your cursor there. This is where I'm going to place my cursor. Then I press the backspace. You can see now D has been removed, N has been removed, A has been removed. So I pressed it three times to remove the and. So that is the use of backspace key. Some people don't like using backspace key, they prefer to use delete. Before you use delete, you must make sure you highlight the word you want to delete first. Like, let me say I want to delete, instead of having documents are done well corrected, that's tautology. So is either I use well or I use corrected. I'm just using this to show you practical examples. So if I want to use well, I leave well there and remove corrected. So for me to do that, I want to use the delete key instead of making use of the backspace. So the two work together for the same purpose. For me to use the delete key, I need to take the cursor to the insertion point of corrected where I want to remove. Click on it and make sure the cursor is blinking. Then I'll drag it to the left hand side to get it highlighted. Let me do that again. Take the cursor to the point where I want to remove the word. Press and hold the left button of the mouse. Then drag it towards the right hand side. Once you do this, you've already highlighted this word. That is what we call highlighting in Microsoft Word. Once you've highlighted it, then you go to your keyboard and press delete. Delete is as shown on the screen here. This is the delete button. So you press it. Once you press it, that part has already been removed. So you can use that to delete your word. All right. So let's take, for instance, I type, this is what I want to delete. This is what I want to delete. Then I want to delete the whole of this. Is either I use backspace, as you can see on the screen again, and tap on it till it gets deleted. If you don't use backspace to do that, if you don't want to use backspace for doing that, this is what you have to do. You just need to highlight it. Let me say this is what I want. Let me leave it to be what it was. I want to delete. So let me say I don't want to use backspace. All I need to do is to highlight all of this and press delete. For me to highlight it, I will take the cursor to that point whereby it's what the sentence starts. Once I take the cursor there, I will drag it, press and hold the left button of the mouse. Press and hold the left button of the mouse, then drag it to the right. You have already done what? You have already highlighted that part. Then you can press delete on the keyboard. There's a delete button on every computer. So once you press delete, that part has already been removed. You won't find it among your word again. So that's how to delete a word in your document. So as a typist, you will definitely come across some mistakes you want to remove. You don't want to see them again. So all you need to do, either you backspace them or you delete them using any of the method I have taught you. The next thing you want to do, you want to look at copy and paste. Then we also look at cut command. For me to copy and paste, you need to highlight where you want to start your copying from. Let me say I want to start my copying from editing of text. No, editing of this particular space here. Oh, that's where I want to start my copying from. I'll just take the cursor, this blinking cursor, I'll take it to the insertion point. You already know what insertion point is if you watch the first video. Then I would left click, hold the button of the mouse and drag it to the right and drag it down so that it will highlight the part I want to copy. And after doing that, after left clicking, I will now right click on the highlighted text. You can see this color that is covering the whole text, means the text is highlighted. I'll right click on it and select copy. The moment I select copy, I will go to where I want to paste it. Let me say I want to paste it here, or I want to paste it anywhere I want to paste it. I will right click and select what? This paste. This is paste here. Right click, go down to where you have paste option and select paste. It gets pasted for you there. If you want to paste it again, you right click again and select what? Paste. You can see that word has been, this sentence has been duplicated into 3 places. I want to duplicate it into 5 places. I'll just come here. If I don't want to make use of the mouse, I can use shortcuts. Okay, and on my keyboard I'll just hold Control and press V. It has pasted there for me. All right, the same thing with copy. If you don't want to use the mouse to copy. You can use the keyboard and execute the command. Just take your cursor to the insertion point where that word starts. You hold the shift button and the arrow down button to highlight the text first. Once you do that, you press it again to highlight. Then from here you can now press Ctrl C. Hold Ctrl C. Ctrl C, that means you have copied. Then go to wherever you want to paste it. Let me say I want to paste it here. Then hold Ctrl V. Press Ctrl V on the keyboard. It has pasted right here for you. Then let's go to the section whereby we need to cut. Let me say I don't need this here. Let me add more. R reading. I don't need this here. I want to cut it and paste here. If I remember, copy is not the same thing as cutting. When you're cutting, that particular sentence is leaving there entirely. It's not coming back. It's going wherever you want to paste it. So for you to do that, take the cursor to the insertion point of where you want to cut. Drag, hold the mouse, left, click on the mouse and hold it, drag it down. Then you can now right click on the highlighted word and press cut. Click on cut. Once you click on cut, you see it has been removed. The next thing is, where am I going to paste it? I want to paste it inside here. If I click on this place that is blinking the insertion point, I'll just right click there and click on select paste. You can see I've not even selected it, is there already. If I select paste, you're going to find it right there. So that is how to do what? Cut, copy and paste. You use cut, maybe you don't want to see a particular line of text somewhere, you want to take it to another location, so you can cut it from there and go to that location, make sure the insertion point is active, then you paste it right there. I'm sure this is clearly understood. So the next thing I want to teach is how to undo and redo. The main essence of undo and redo is when you make mistakes while you're typing, or when you're working with your Word documents, you made mistakes, so you can undo that to get to the previous state which you are. Okay, let me say I type here, this is a tutorial. All right, so if I want to undo, let me see the command for undo. For everyone that has not yet include undo command, just go to the this particular place I said is quick access toolbar, click on it, make sure undo is active, and also click on it, make sure redo is also active. This is for redo, this is for what? Undo. If I click on this, watch what happens. It takes me to the point where I was about to type words. Watch what happens here. I'm no longer having tutorial. Let me redo it again. This is where I am having, this is a tutorial, right? Now watch what happens if I undo it. If I undo it, takes me to the point where I was about to type T. If I undo again, okay, undo again, it has already taken me to this point where I have only this, where I was typing only this. If I undo again, it already takes me back to the point where I never typed anything. So undo is to go back to the previous state of where your document was before you made any correction. Then redo is for you to redo that particular action that you need. All right, so you can just play around them and see how it is. Now the next thing we want to consider is font type. Now different font type in Microsoft Word, and automatically when you're using Microsoft Word to type, it's you name the font as Calibri body type. Okay, so this is how Calibri body looks like. But when you're typing an official document, many people make use of Times New Roman to make sure their font is in that way. So I want to change this font type to Times New Roman. The next thing I'll do is to do what? Take my cursor to where I want to change to Times New Roman, make sure it's blinking there, click on the left click or hold your mouse, then drag it to cover that area. Make sure it's highlighted like this. Then you can come to this particular section where you find fonts. This is font style now. So you click on the down arrow. When you click on the down arrow, these are different fonts type in Microsoft Word. So if I just hover my mouse around it, you can see it's affecting the change on that particular place I highlighted. If I go to Arial, this is how Arial looks like. If I go to this Arial black, this is how it looks like. Arial narrow, this is how it looks like. If I get to Arial, so there are lots of them here. There are lots of them. But only you can play around them. Highlight it, play around them. But only what I want to do here I don't want to make this video too long. I just only want to select Times New Roman. So I'll just come to this place here and type here Times New Roman. You can see it appearing here. This is it appearing here. So you can just click on it. So this is how Times New Roman looks like. Alright. And I also want this one to be Calibri. Let me leave this one this way. Or let me make all of them appear in Times New Roman. I have to highlight all of them and click on this down arrow and select Times New Roman. If you've already selected Times New Roman, it's going to appear in the search bar there where you would pick it. All right, so this font is now in Times New Roman. If you look at it, there's a significant change from what it was before. So this is in Times New Roman. The next thing I want to show you is how to increase or decrease your font size. Let me say I want to increase this font size to font size 14, all of them. So I'm going to highlight it from beginning. You know how to highlight. Just take the cursor to the insertion point, hold it there, left click on the mouse, hold it. As you left click, don't remove your hand from the left clicking, then you drag it down. You've already highlighted. If I want to increase the font size, I could just click on this down button here. This is where you can find font size. Currently it's at font size 11. So if I click the down arrow, I want to change it to 14. I could just scroll down to 14. You can see it looks like what you have on your documents, on a real document. All right, so that is how to increase the font size. If I only want to decrease the font size of this particular section, I will just highlight only that area, then click on the down arrow. If I want to make it 10, I can make it 10. You can see it's smaller. If I want to make it 12, I can make it 12. You can see smaller. If I want to make it 14, I can make it 14. So whichever one you want to do, just highlight the section you want to reduce the font size and get to this point here whereby you have font size. Click on it. This is the point you have font size, and this is for font style. All right. Okay, I don't want to make this video too long. I'll be considering, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the channel. I want to make this to be Times New Roman and also font size 14. So I need to highlight it and come to this point here and select 14. Okay, that's very beautiful. So we have this. The next thing I want to consider now is font color. You can see this is a heading, right? So I can make this heading to be font size 16. For me to do that, take my cursor down there and highlight it to the left, just only the heading. So I can just click down here and make it 16. I want to change the color of this text. Instead of making it black, let it be red. All right, so this is where you can find font color. This A with color down, that's font color. So you can click on it. When you click on it, I want to make it to be red, so this is the red I like, so I can select it. You can see it has appeared red. And a very important thing I want to make, since it's a heading, I want to make it appear bold. For me to make it appear bold, take my cursor to the insertion point, drag it to the, highlight it, then click on B. This is B where you have bold. You can see it's bolder. Yes, it's bolder. If I want to make it appear in italicized form, I do the same thing. Let me not use this heading again. Let me get to this particular section. I want to make this section appear in italicized form. I just take my cursor down there, left click and drag it down. Once I left click and drag it down, I'll click on I means italics. So the moment I click on it, you can see it's appearing in form of Italy. You can see this italics now. All right, so wherever you need your text to appear in italics form, just right click that, just highlight that part and go to I. click on the I command, it appears in form of italics. Okay, so you can undo that. Okay, let me say I don't need this place to be in form of italics. I need to do what? Undo. Guys, go back. So this is a command for undo. If I click on it, you can see it's going back to the previous state. So that is how to use what? Undo. Now another thing I want to show you is making use of underline command. If I want to underline this heading here, I'll just take my mouse there, highlight it, then go to this place. I have U underline. Is a command for underlining. So once I click on it, you can see there's an underline, there's a line that is appearing on the heading of this text. So that is how you can underline it. So the same thing with you, wherever you want to underline in your text document, just highlight that part and go to U. Once you highlight it and underline it, and the cursor is on that text, you will see the underline command active. And any other command you have used, we made use of bold command, right? So you see the bold command too active. But if you leave there, you're not going to see both commands active, because these ones are yet to be underlined. They are not underlined and they are not bold, so it's not going to be active. But if you take your mouse there to where you've inserted a bold or active, a bold or underline command, what's going to happen? You're going to see those places active. Do you understand? Okay, that's how to use bold, italics, and underline. Now let's go to text alignment. Text alignment is how your text appears. You can see there are 4 forms of text alignment. This is the button, this is the command for text alignment. There are 4 forms. The first one is left, align to the left. So your text is going to look as if they are going towards the left. You can see this is how it is. This is how it is. If you notice, there is align to the left command being used here. See this text, it goes here. Some of them, it starts from here, it goes here. This word cannot suit into this place, it continues from this place. You can see if you follow this trend like this, let me show you how you can follow the trend. From this place here, follow like this, go to here, go to here. You can see it's mostly aligned as if it's diagonal to the left. Do you understand? So that is aligned to the left. Automatically, Microsoft Word will make your text align to the left. Well, you can change it. You can align to the center, align to the right, or anywhere. How can you do that? Just take your mouse to the insertion points, drag it down. Let me say I want to align to the center. If I click this is aligned to the center. All my words, as you see this shape, this design here, that everything is in the center. If you click on it, you have yours too in the center. If you want it to appear less, they mostly use this for people who type letters. You know, people who type letters, there are some part of the letter that should appear on the left, there are some part of the letter that should appear on the right and on the left. Do you understand? And there are some part of the letter which is like the heading or title of the letter which should appear in the center. So this is where they use all of these commands. If I click on the right align, you can see all the text are aligned to the right. Do you understand? Then if I click on justify, everything starts from the beginning of the line and ends where you have the ruler. Every word must be justified, means it starts from the beginning and end there. You can see all of this one. This is where it stops, this is where it stops. But justify, if I want to justify this text, take the cursor there, right click and click on this. You can see all text. If you notice something, all text starts here and end here. No matter what, there's nothing like stop is stopping here and the next line continue. It must be aligned on both sides. That is what it means. That's what's the meaning of justify. All text must be aligned on both sides. The left side must be aligned and it's justified with the right side. Do you understand? So there's no halfway document like this one, halfway text document. You have this here and you now continue the next one, then that stops here, nothing can enter again. If I justify it, everything will look just like this, sharp, just like this. Do you understand? So that's the idea I'm trying to pass. That is how to justify it. They just highlight it and click on the command. It's not hard, it's not difficult at all. Highlight it and click on the command. Like this one, if I highlight it, watch what happens. Watch what happens to this. That if I highlight it and click on justify, you can see that fits in and everything fits. So this is how an official document should look like. An official document should not look like scattered, left aligned, and the rest. It should be, everything should be justified. Do you understand? So you can see the document is now looking better than what it was before. Now let us go to paragraph formatting. This is the last aspect. Hereby, let's look at how to format the paragraphs of this particular text. Let me say I want to include a line spacing. I don't like this line spacing. This is most important for people who are writing proposals or projects. Your supervisor will tell you make sure the line spacing is 1.5 or so. So line spacing is just used to give line between the upper text and the lower text. So you don't have to be using the enter button to give the line. Just highlight it. Highlight where you want the line spacing to be. Let me say if I want line spacing to be here, I'll just highlight it and come to this place here called line and paragraph spacing. If I click on it, I can select any spacing I want. If it's 2.5, you can see the line between here and here are the same. So that is what we call line spacing. It makes your work have some lines. Do you understand? So that is for line spacing. So there are some work you'll be needing a line spacing of 1.5. The standard line spacing should be 1.5 or 1.15 depending on the kind of document. If you're making use of if you're creating a book, should have line spacing of 1.15 or 1.5 or so. But the more the line spacing, the more the pages of the document. Alright, so the standard should be 1.15. That is line spacing. It just creates a line space between the top word and the down word. Alright, so if I want the line spacing to be in all of this, I could just highlight it, scroll down and select this down arrow here and click. If I want it to be 2.5 or 2.0, you can see the text. The text is justified, and it's just that we have more of lines underneath it. So there are some documents you'll be needing such line spacing. All right, so I want to undo this, so I'll go to this command called undo line spacing, and it's back to what it was before. That is how undo works, guys. Lastly, let's look at bullets and numbering. Let me say, for instance, I need numbering in this particular. I want to number all of this. What I'll do to number it, I'll just take my mouse down there and highlight it. Once I highlight it, I will go to this. For bullets, I will go to this down arrow here where you have bullets. You can see there. Once you hover your mouse on the down arrow, always hover your mouse to the down arrow. Once you hover your mouse to the down arrow, what happens? You see different kinds of bullets. If it's this bullet you like, you click on it. If it's this one you like, you click on it. The moment you hover your mouse around it, you see the change being affected on it, so you click on it. So once you click on it, you can see the bullets appearing. All right, let me undo that. You get here to this down arrow here, then you can see all of this. You can see I want to make use of this particular bullet called a tick. So if I click on it, all of those things, all of the documents, the text gets what? That's bullet identification on them. All right, so that is how you can add bullets to your text. Now I don't want to add bullets, I want to add numbering. I want to number them like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure you've read documents whereby they number them 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how you're going to do that. Just highlight it. I don't want to see this bullet again. Let me undo it. Just highlight it, scroll down to where you have, this is where you have the numbering. You click on the down arrow, you select the kind of numbering you want. Do you want it numbered like this, or numbered like this, numbered like this, numbered like this, numbered like this? So you select the kind of numbering you want to number the document. So you just click on, let me say I prefer this one. If I just click on it, you can see it's been numbered. Do you understand? So there is always a point whereby you like to number your words. See, I don't mean you number all the documents, all the text you're typing. I don't mean that. Once you come to that point, you realize, oh, I need to put this one in bullets and I need to put this one in numbering form. So you go tell yourself that Alright guys, thanks for watching this video onto this very point. If you have any questions, you can join the WhatsApp forum where you ask your questions, or you make the questions in form of, you post the question in form of comments, and I'll be there to answer them for you. Alright, I am going to give a classwork, and the classwork is that you will have to type a document. Just type anything at all. Make sure you use font type. Let me select a font type for you. Make sure you use font type Calibri in your body. In the heading, you make use of Calibri lights. Then use font size 17. Let me see if there's 17 right here. You use font size 18 for your heading. Then for the body, you use font size 16 for the body. Make your text to be justified. That's another instruction. Make your text to be justified. When it comes to alignment, make it justified. Then use a line spacing of 2.0. In your text, make sure you include a space whereby you add numbering, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Also include a section where you have bullets, so you have lots of things to type. All right, when you're done, you can submit it. Just inform me, so I'll go through what you've done and applaud you for that. Guess what? In this course, I'm going to give you a certificate too. So if you follow up all assignments, the certificate will be guaranteed. All right, catch you in the next video where I'll be talking more about Microsoft Word.